What is going on, Blue Chippers? It's your host, your boy, Matty Q, and welcome to the latest episode of Blue Chips here on the Player Profiler Now YouTube channel. Blue Chips is your one-stop shop for all things NFL prospects. And today I have yet another Banger, or how we say it in Boston, a banger. We're talking about my top 10 wide receivers that are eligible for the 2026 draft class. I am so excited to talk about these pass catchers. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. My number 10 prospect, I don't know if he should be number 10, but I'm putting him number 10 because I got to talk about him. And that's Nick Harbor, wide receiver from South Carolina. He's 6'5", 235 pounds of just brick shithouse. Dude is jacked. He's a junior. Last year, his stats were very unassuming. 43 targets, 26 receptions, 376 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now, despite the low totals, that 376 led the Gamecocks. He had a 1.35 yards per route run, a 16 average depth of target. Yes, you heard that correct. A 16 ADOT and only 61 yards after catch. But when you watch this guy play, this is where it's tough to not get excited about Nick Harbor. Now, if you played college football 25, you know damn well why the NFL is salivating to be excited about this wide receiver. It's his size and athleticism. It's absolutely wild. You see it on tape. I mean, you could clearly see that this guy is a freak of nature. And you know, I can't say that it happened a lot. I mean, he only caught 26 passes on the season. But with that 16 ADOT, you know, that average depth of target, obviously he was attacking downfield, and he did show the ability to track the ball fairly well when it was thrown deep. He does need a lot of work in terms of the nuances of being a good overall wide receiver, and that very much includes that route running technique and overall just kind of how to be savvy as a wide receiver. I would absolutely love to see him improve his hand catching. He lets the ball get to his body a little too much, and that can kind of be a detriment for a player that has this set of skills. I want to see the hands get a little bit better. But at the end of the day, I think he will get better. He came out of high school as a very highly touted tight end / defensive edge rusher, chose to be a wide receiver, made his mark, said he was going to win in the Blitnikoff. So, I mean, he does have aspirations. It does seem like he's a worker. He does come from a very intriguing background. His father worked for NASA as well as playing for the U.S. men's national soccer team. So it's, you know, success or rarity or whatever it is coursing through the kid's veins. I do believe he is going to get better as a wide receiver. And another thing that kind of indicates such, you see him doing some of that dirty work on the field, blocking downfield, you know, really trying to make do what he can, do the best that he can, and make the best of the play at hand, whether it goes to him or not. So I think there's a lot to be excited about other than just the size of athleticism. I'm hoping that we see a massive jump in production, a massive jump in overall skill set. Right now, in terms of my stage 1 scouting, where do I have him as a draft grade? He's a day 3 guy, maybe even later in day 3, unless he truly improves. But I got to talk about this guy because my comp, folks, it's going to sound silly, but his comp has to be DK Metcalf. I mean, if he starts to figure it out, hell, it might be Calvin Johnson. I don't think he'll ever get that number 2 overall pick and all that stuff. But, man, I mean, we're talking about just an absolute size freak, speed monster, 99 on the key room rating for speed. He's just a blazer. I'm very, very excited to see what his year looks like. And he's young. I mean, he's still only a junior, so we could see him come out in 2027. But a big year might make him a big-time pick for 2026. And that's why I have him number 10 on my list. And number 9, Eric Rivers from Georgia Tech. He is 5'11", 175 pounds. He is a senior. He is transferring in from FIU. This is his first year as a Georgia Tech wide receiver. Last year, we saw some big-time numbers at FIU. 97 targets, 62 receptions, 1,166 receiving yards, and added 12 tutties, posted a 3.57 yards per route run. Have mercy. 15.1 ADOT and 422 yards after catch. Watching the film, some things that stand out. He was able to take the top off the defense at FIU. No doubt about it. So I'm really, really excited to see how he can attack defenses, how he can let that deep ball, that deep play agility, that big play ability work. I want to see it work at Georgia Tech, see how it translates to the step up in competition. He's pretty quick off the line. I mean, he's very quick off the line. And just kind of watching his speed, he might be the fastest guy in the class. I could see that. I mean, we're talking about guys who, low 4.4s when you watch him run. And despite not having a big frame, Rivers provides a pretty impressive catch radius, which is good to see at a guy who's only 5'11". I am a little nervous about his ability to battle through press coverage, especially at the higher levels, especially in the NFL, given him that frame, 5'11", under a $180. And I do think his route tree needs a little bit of some. It needs some refining. He needs to get a little bit deeper, a little bit better, especially as he climbs up in competition, as he vies to prove that he's an NFL caliber wide receiver. And those that are refining, it really could use a big step up in terms of his short and intermediate range. Those type of routes, if those improve, I think that could be massive for his draft stock, massive for his value in the eyes of scouts and GMs in the NFL. Because we already know he could tear it up downfield. We already seen the speed. We've seen the burst. We've seen it happen at FIU. And I do believe we will see it happen at Georgia Tech as well. So as long as he can kind of get a little bit better in those short intermediate routes, I think we could see a big year from Eric Rivers. As of right now, I got Eric Roberts in my stage 1 scouting draft grade as day 3. Could see him be a day 2 pick for sure, fall into that 3rd round, but as right now, he's a day 3 pick. And my comp for Eric Flowers, given the size and his ability and that speed, that quickness, Zay Flowers. And that's why I have him as number 9 on my top 10 wide receiver list. At number 8, Chase Roberts from BYU, 6'4", 210 pounds. He is a senior, as it seems everyone is at BYU. 72 targets, 52 receptions last year, 851 receiving yards. He added 4 touchdowns. 2.60 yards per route run is a good number, something we're excited to see. 13 average depth of target and added 202 yak yards, 202 yards after catch. Some things that stand out on film. First and foremost, my man is not scared to haul it in when he's dealing with traffic. And actually, when you look at the stats, it proved pretty significant in that field. 14 of 18 in contested catch situations. That's a really strong indicator of, those aggressive hands, those harsh hands, get the hands around the ball, make the catch, make the play, even in traffic. He plays with that DGIF mentality. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, trying to keep it PG for the kids. Even though I think I did swear earlier, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. He does play with that DGIF mentality, and it's clear on film. And I think a reason for that is his strong frame. 6'4", 210 pounds. He's got a big body, and my man knows how to use it well. He gets good positions against defenders. He really knows how to kind of shade the defenders when he's cutting inside and use his body on the outside as well. He's big, like I said, 6'4", and he knows how to throw it around. My man doesn't only have aggressive hands, he's got them sticky hands. 0 drops in 2024, 0. I don't know if he has that wow. He doesn't wow anyone with that top end speed. I don't know if he's going to really blaze it at the combine, but I do believe he's fast enough. And when you pair that with his technique, his route running prowess, I do think this is a guy built to have success at the NFL level. My scouting draft grade right now, in terms of my stage 1 scouting, I got him as a day 3, but I could absolutely see him push into those top 3 rounds, become a day 2 pick. And my comp for Chase Roberts right now is Michael Thomas. Chase Roberts getting it done in 2024. I hope he gets it done in 2025, and that is why I have Roberts as my number 8 wide receiver. Let's move on to number 7. I have Malachi Fields. Malachi Fields plays for Notre Dame, 6'4", 220 pounds. He is a senior. transferring out of Virginia. Like I said, he is now at Notre Dame playing for the Fighting Irish. In 2024, 94 targets, 55 catches, 808 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. He had a 2.0 yards per route run and 11.9 average depth of target. He has also added 278 yak yards. What stands out to Malachi Fields when you watch the film, he's got a very impressive catch radius. Big frame, knows how to catch the ball, whether it be above his head or outside of his body. He's able to extend the arms and really bring it in, haul it in. Very, very competitive in contested catch situations. It's clear to see where he is going to kind of beast the defense and how he's going to have success at Notre Dame and potentially in the NFL. That's going to be going up and getting the ball. He doesn't create a lot of separation, I'll say that, but he is big, he is strong, and he knows how to win at the collegiate level, at least, using that big size, that strong frame. And I do think it's big enough and strong enough, and he knows how to use it enough. He could have success with it in the NFL as well. Definitely a red zone threat as of now, but he does need to develop into a more well-rounded pass catcher throughout the entire field, because we already know he can haul it in, in terms of the contested catch. We know he can haul it in those red zone situations, but I like to see him get a little bit more refined, become a little bit more of a weapon throughout, the 20s, in between the 20s. My stage 1 scouting draft grade for Malachi Fields right now, another day 2 guy. That is a theme you will hear the entire episode. This is not a class full with, it's not loaded with top end wide receivers, but I do think we'll see a smattering of really good ones here in day 2, and you'll see that in my rankings. And my comp for Malachi Fields as of right now is Mike Williams without the injuries. Number 6, Makai Lemon. Makai Lemon's from USC, 5'11", 195 pounds. He's going into his junior season. Last year in 2024, 67 targets, 52 catches, 764 receiving yards, added 3 touchdowns. There are some analytics there, some advanced metrics that are pretty exciting. 3.03 yards per route run, a 10.1 average depth of target. And despite the limited surface production, he's added 379 yards after catch. And when you watch the film, some things that do pop out when it comes to Makai Lemon, he shows quite a bit of electricity after the catch. I mentioned the near 400 yards after catch. He is electric with the rock. He is able to make things happen when he has the ball in his hands. He's a pretty sound route runner overall, but I would like to see a little bit more snap in his breaks. If I'm nitpicking here, but like I said, overall, pretty smooth, pretty good route runner. I could see a leap in yards after catch if he beefs up, which would be great. I mean, he's already at 400 yards after catch right now. If he can get, maybe 200, 202 pounds, just kind of beef up, break some more tackles, I really do think we could see those numbers getting to be in that Yak King area that we're just really excited about when it comes to draft season next year. Very strong and reliable hands. Also, he has the skill set to ultimately become a wide receiver 1, maybe even the wide receiver 1 of this class. I do think he's that talented, but he has some ways to go. My stage 1 scouting draft grade for him right now is day 2. Again, another day 2. I'm thinking this guy's end of the second or into the third, but again, has the skills. And if he can really produce at a high level with Lincoln Riley at USC in his, going into his junior year, this is a kid we might be talking about having a conversation with of who is the wide receiver 1 of the class. It could go from that big of a leap. I haven't met 6 now, but he could be number 1, as we're doing this same exercise in March. In my comp for him right now, Elijah Moore. So Makai Lemon from USC comes in at number 6. Let's get to number 5, Antonio Williams from Clemson. 5'11", 190 pounds. He's going into his junior campaign. We did see some nice surface stats from Williams last year. 100 targets, 75 catches, 908 receiving yards, and a very nice 11 receiving tutties. Advanced metrics popping out of his profile. 2.05 yards per run, pretty good. 10.2 ADOT and 339 yards after catch. Some things that did pop out in film when you watch Antonio Williams, he's able to create separation in a number of different ways. Footwork mainly. I mean, his footwork is very, very good. He's dangerous with the ball in his hands. His missed tackles forced numbers are good, and he does show a lot of elusiveness as a punt returner. So we like to see that sometimes when we're scouting these players, like, can they make things happen with the ball in their hand? Well, if a coach puts you at kick returner, at punt returner, and you do well in that role, you got a little shake, you got a little rattle, you got a little roll in your game. And Antonio Williams definitely has some of that. I would like to see him become a little bit more reliable in contested catch situations. Catches in traffic aren't all that great. He's not rated all that highly in Q ratings in terms of catch of traffic. He may not possess really top end speed, and I don't know if he has the strength to really be that deep threat, because unless he does end up showing the speed, I'm looking on film, I'm thinking it's going to be in the high 4.4s, maybe 4.47. But if he could get to 4.44 and really just kind of show you can take a top of the ball, I'd be happy with that. Because he definitely doesn't have the strength given the frame right now. 5'11", 190, doesn't have that strength to be a deep threat. But even if he does end up being a slot player, I think his route running and his shimmy, his ability to kind of move with the ball or move before the ball and get separation, I think he could be very good in that slot role. So I ain't worried about it. And truth to be told, Antonio Williams, the reason why I'm at number 5, he's put up numbers at Clemson, and that includes obviously the receiving game. We talked about service stats, we talked about his analytics, but he's also added rushing touchdowns. He's also completed 3 passes, 1 for a touchdown. I mean, the kid's a baller. And like I said, he returns kicks. So, I mean, this guy has got what it takes. And as my guy, Cody Carpentier, does often say about players, I think he's got that dog in him. So Antonio Williams is a big favorite of mine. As of right now, I have him as my stage 1 scouting draft grade day 2, but I have him in round 2, early part of day 2, a guy that we could also hear at the end of round 1, maybe in the thick of round 1, given his prospect pedigree and given his situation, if he can really ball out. My comp for Antonio Williams right now, Deontay Johnson. So that's why Antonio Williams from Clemson is my number 5 wide receiver. Let's get into the top 4 with Mr. Carnell Tate, wide receiver from Ohio State, the Ohio State. Carnell Tate is 6'3", 191 pounds, a junior this year for the Buckeyes. In 2024, 67 targets, 52 receptions, 733 receiving yards with 4 touchdowns. He posted a 1.91 yards per route run, an 11.3 ADOT, and added 255 yards after catch. The numbers on the surface don't pop entirely, but when you kind of sit back and think, well, they did have 2 running backs that were drafted in the first 2 rounds, and they did have a first-round wide receiver in my guy, Emeka Egbuka, and they do have the best wide receiver in all of the land, Jeremiah Smith. So you kind of look through it, you kind of get, step aside from the tree to look at the forest, so to speak. You realize those numbers aren't all that bad for Carnell Tate. And we definitely see a player on film that could take that step up. And we're talking about projectability. I'm okay with, projecting a guy like Carnell Tate because I do believe he has the prospect pedigree. He has the skill set that he's shown already. And then when you factor in Brian Hartline is his wide receiver coach, I mean, this kid can absolutely take a massive step forward as the true number 2 for Ohio State this year. I mean, this kid was a 5-star recruit out of IMG. This guy knows how to ball out. He does a lot of the little things properly. This guy's a sound receiver in tech. When you talk about his technique, his ability, it does have a higher ceiling, like I said, than the stats show. And it's clear when you watch him play that there's more room for this kid to ball out. There's more meat on the bone in terms of the prospect profile heading into 2025. Very excited to see he can move for a guy that's 6'3". Not super thick, so he's not carrying a lot of weight at 191, but at 6'3", he can move. He can get around. It's clear that this kid was a 5-star recruit for a reason. And I believe he will thrive as the true number 2 wide receiver for the Buckeyes. I would like to see those contested catch numbers go up, not necessarily in terms of conversion, but in volume. They didn't take a lot of deep chances. I'd like to see, Ohio State and the Buckeyes offense take a little bit more deep shots with the 6'3" Carnell Tate. As of right now, stage 1 scouting draft grade. Stop me if you heard it already, folks. Day 2. It is what it is. I know it sounds a bit annoying, but he's just a day 2 guy. And my comp right now is a bit of a slick one. It's probably not going to make people super happy on the surface, but I think when you look at this guy's, career and the path that he took and how long he lasted in the NFL, I'm happy with this comp. I got him as my big comp for Carnell Tate, Tyler Boyd. I like what I see out of Carnell Tate. Very excited to see him heading into 2025. That's why I have him at number 4. We're about to get into the top 3, but before we do, let's take a second to hear about all the good things going on at Fast Draft.
You asked, we delivered a full best ball tournament on Fast Draft, but we do it the Fast Draft way, and it's called the Rabbit, because of course it is. 20-second time clock, 15 rounds. These drafts, they take 20 minutes. That's it. So you get a lot of new people coming in and playing, get a lot of best ball bros playing, exploitable ADPs, no rake. It is the best EV in all of fantasy. You should just go to fastdraft.app, use code FAST. You get a $50 deposit match. These things are a blast, and it's the best use of your funds in all of fantasy.
My man Denzel Boston from Washington, 6'4", 209 pounds. He is a junior. Last year in 2024, 98 targets, 63 catches, 834 receiving yards, added 9 tutties, a 1.86 yards per route run, an 11.4 average depth of target, and added 333 yards after catch. Some things that do stand out for Boston on film. He may not be even the fast. I don't think he's going to be the fastest guy in this class. I actually have him rated under a 90 in my Kiwu rating for speed, but he does make up for it with his strength. And I do think he can win that way in 2025 and beyond. Tough wide receiver who isn't afraid to attack at the catch point. He's pleasantly surprised. He's a pleasant surprise when it comes to turning up field. He's pretty swift. I mean, taking the after catch, just kind of turning it up. You see a lot of effort with Denzel Boston. Effort. Denzel's down there type stuff, which is good because he converts. He knows how to convert downfield. Right now, my stage 1 scouting draft grade, I do have him as a day 2 pick, but he's right on the cusp. In my way too early 2026 mock, you can get that at playerprofiler.com. I have him as a round 1 pick. We'll see. I got another. I'll have a mock drop in August. I think he might stay there. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But my comp for Denzel Boston is Courtland Sutton. Big body, strong receiver, wins at the catch point, downfield, attacking weapon. Love it. Love the comp. Denzel Boston, Washington wide receiver, is my number 3 guy on the list. Into the top 2. This one's going to surprise a lot. I've seen a lot of the industry does not have this guy as high as I do, but I love Elijah Surratt from Indiana. 6'2", 209 pounds. Going into his junior year in 2024, he had 84 targets, 53 catches, 957 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, posted a 2.76 yards per route run, a 13.7 ADOT, and also added 302 yak yards. He's got fun film. He's got a lot of fun film. And when you watch it, some things that do stand out is, first and foremost, he's very strong at the catch point. Whether it's above his head, outside the numbers, he knows how to haul it in. He knows how to extend, get his hands on the ball, and make the catch, complete the catch. He's a pretty smooth route runner, especially for 6'2", 210 pounds. I would like to see it be a little bit more polished. But again, going into his junior year, this is a guy that started at James Madison, made the move with Kurt Cignetti to Indiana. So I do think there is room for improvement. And in this type of program, Cignetti's going to demand a lot. And a guy like Elijah Surratt is going to rise to the occasion. So I'd like to see it get a little more polished. But again, very smooth for 6'2", 210 pounds. He knows how to shield defenders when it comes to back shoulder throws. He knows how to get himself in the right position to make the catch. There's just certain little things that he does, the nuances that he does, certain nuances in his technique, using his frame, just kind of being able to succeed at Indiana last year. It really shows off that football IQ. He's a prototypical X receiver at the NFL level. No doubt about it in my mind. And again, my stage 1 scouting draft grade for him right now is a day 2 pick. Round 2, potentially round 1. But in these guys, it's stage 1. Stage 2, when the season happens, these guys could elevate for sure. Especially this. My comp, it might make people a little bit uneasy. But if you can remember, if you can get back and, put your brain in the way back machine and think about this guy when he was a prospect, not what he's doing now at the NFL, I see a lot of similarities to Nico Collins when he was at Michigan. So my comp for Surratt is Nico Collins. I do love Elijah Surratt. I am very excited to see his season in 2025 with Fernando Mendoza with this Hoosiers football team. Let's see if they can repeat their success from 2024. Very, very excited about Elijah Surratt. That's why I have him as my number 2 wide receiver. Number 1, not a shock to many. Number 1 wide receiver in many rankings, Jordyn Tyson from Arizona State. 6 foot, 212 pounds. Love the frame. Going into his junior season in 2024, 113 targets, 75 receptions, 1,098 receiving yards, 10 tutties, 3.04 yards per route run. Again, very, very nice number there. 12.6 ADA and added 441 yak yards. Some things that do pop out in film. I mean, it's pretty clear this guy is the number 1 guy in the class. Very versatile, can play inside, outside. I like his role in Arizona State. I'm very excited to see another year of development with him and Sam Levitt in the Sun Devil offense. But Tyson, first and foremost, he's got really good hands. He's aggressive when needed, but technically sound. We're talking about very technically sound, very good hand type receiver. All hands team type guy. Route running is sophisticated, and I think it'll absolutely play in terms of the NFL. As of right now, he has my highest Q1 rating in terms of route running in this entire class. He's quick enough, especially off the line. I don't know if he's going to have top end speed per se, but he's quick off the line. He shows quickness in his movements, in his breaks, getting in and out of routes. Even though it's not a stand-up ability, I do believe it's good enough to have success at the NFL. And I wouldn't hate to see him beef up just a little bit. The frame looks a little smaller than the 6 foot 212 kind of depicts. So if you can get that 215, 216, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if it's good muscle, if it's good weight, oh my God, we're talking about that DJ Moore body type. And if you know Matty Kiwoom, you know me. I love me some DJ Moore. And I just think it'll make him a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more dynamic with the ball in his hands, add to those yak numbers. As of right now, in terms of stage 1 scouting draft grade, he is my only first-round draft grade. He's my only day 1 draft graded wide receiver in the class. And my comp for Jordyn Tyson right now is Rashad Bateman, who, if you can recall, if you can remember, was a first-round pick coming out of Minnesota. But I like what I see out of Jordyn Tyson. I think he's in line for a big 2025 season. So that is why he is my number 1 wide receiver for the draft-eligible wide receivers in college football. That's it. That's the show. I'm Matty Kiwoom. First and foremost, make sure you subscribe to the Player Profiler Now YouTube channel. Make sure you smash the like button. Leave a comment. Who are some of your favorite wide receivers in college football right now? You can find me on X. I'm at Matty Kiwoom. And again, if you like the NFL prospect talk, if you like NFL draft talk, if you want to hear about the future stars, keep tuning in to Blue Chips. I'm Matty Q. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Hey, I want to thank you for being part of this broadcast. If you have any thoughts on it, leave a comment. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to see more shows on the Player Profiler channel, subscribe to it. That's how we know you want more.